Wealth is defined as my legacy being legendary, hereditary. I know you see me feeding my seeds, killing these weeds with determination, germination, purpose never vacant. I said at elevation, meditation, upward, universal guidance, most high to provide the substance, trying to reside within abundance. Lunches, dinner, and breakfast. The feeling of my stomach's essential, easing the hunger pains is the issue. So focus.
Go, go, get it, go, 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 get it, go, 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 get it, go, go, get it, go, go, get it, go, get it,
Welcome back. This is Kindness University Autism, episode 13. This is Big Boxx.
Lil Boxx.
Really? Really? Can you take that again?
Animated. This dude is animated. And once again, we back again with my lovely wife, Ms. Joi Dianne, and just moving along to the next thing, babe. So, all right. So, as he was developing, and right before we got into starting to get into heavy discussions with the school personnel about him possibly being on the spectrum. As far as his development, did you notice like any different patterns and inconsistencies with him? So we can say up until what, third grade? We can say
up until from kindergarten to third grade?
To like third grade, fourth grade, like were there any different pattern and inconsistencies? I remember the speech already because I used to bring him to speech therapy. That was before Savannah even started going to school.
Well, even before that, so kindergarten, first grade, he seemed to be doing well, to be honest.
Okay.
The only thing, to be honest, I was concerned about early on was, for instance, his handwriting. Remember that?
Yeah, and I used to tell you my handwriting's sloppy.
For me, I was like, what is happening? but then I learned that was, that wasn't really a concern. But as far as school, like, he did good. And he loved it. He loved being at school. And we didn't get any really negative feedback. He was just doing normal kid stuff. He loved going to school. He had made friends that we knew of at that point. The teachers loved him. The staff at the school absolutely loved him. He knew everybody. We got updates from the staff that he was basically everybody's favorite. So yeah, it was all positive, to be honest. The first couple of years, it was all positive. Yeah. It wasn't until, like you said, third grade that we started seeing some differences.
I just remember like the speech. I just remember
But even that didn't start till like third grade.
That was third grade?
Okay, all
right. Because I just remember the speech, and I ain't really was tripping on the speech because 3 of my brothers had to do speech, had kind of speech impediments, and my little sister had like stuttering.
Yeah.
So
but we didn't even notice that early on. Like, even his doctor, we just assumed that his voice was we knew his voice was heavy, was deep.
No, I remember.
And his doctor was like, "Oh, that's just probably because your voice is so deep."
Yeah, but no, I remember sitting with Miss Woods and she was talking about his speech, and I remember telling her, I said, "Nah, this is maybe because we're in a house with 2 different accents."
Right.
I remember sitting there talking to her. So that was first grade.
That was first grade?
That was first grade.
I wasn't at that one.
You wasn't at that
I wasn't at that one because she never mentioned to me anything about speech. It wasn't until because we had at that point we had Savani, we had Giannis, and we had noticed, or I will say I had noticed, just around the house, that with each additional child I had, he would revert back to baby speech. So like early on, his speech was very advanced. He would be using big words. He never had a problem with speaking anything, even reading. He was great at all of that. And then I noticed with each child I had, it seemed like he would go back into baby talk a little bit. And I talked to the pediatrician about that. I talked to our moms about that. And everyone pretty much had the same consensus that it's probably just because there's new babies in the house. And so he's seeing the attention given to the new babies, and so he's copying what you guys do. He's going into baby speak because that's what you all do with the babies.
And I think, no, do not rip that. No, just fold it over. Just fold it over. There's going to be a whole bunch of noise, and I'm not going to be able to edit that out, bro. Just flip it over, bro. Just do it here, bro.
There you go.
All right, I'm sorry about that, y'all. It's just you have to be direct with him sometimes. Y'all on this one. But so like I said, so basically before being told by the teachers, when we did have that third grade meeting, there wasn't nothing that we really could do. And then I remember going into the first speech therapies when I used to have to take all of the kids with me for the speech therapies. I remember that. Do you remember going to the doctor for them speech therapies? You remember that? I forgot that doctor name. We used to go to
Dr. Shelby.
Dr. Shelby.
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah. Used to like going to Dr. Shelby. Yeah, she was a great doctor. I just ain't like going in that at one time. That was possibly the last time he went. When and this is, I'm going to speak on this candidly. Now this is for the Western medical structure. If any one of y'all ever see this, I don't like the way y'all approach black families. And this wasn't from the lady Dr. Shelby. This was from some other administrator. Just felt like they needed to question my child on his well-being as if he was being mistreated or something. And this how smart and witty and on top of his stuff kindness was. They came at him in a way as if they were trying to get information on us. And he knew not to telling people nothing. Because they basically was just trying to question my child as if he was in a bad situation. And we've never given them that type of vibe that that's what was going on. It's just that this lady had just like, it was a lady that was in there, and every time she saw me, she flipped her badge over. So once I noticed that a white person come around me uncomfortable, a real black man, and they flipped their badge over and they got nervous energy, that means her whole intentions towards me and my family was negative. So I remember that, and I remember her just asking him all kind of questions. Used to always try to pull him out the way, and was real kind of shrewdish to my other children. Because if you give kindness a candy or a sucker, you got to give the other 4. Or you be nice to him and speak to him a certain way, you got to do that to the other 4. And she didn't do that to the other 4. So I was like, who is this lady? So after that last interaction, we never went back. And I just had to make that clear, because I know it's possibly other parents that that have experienced different kind of weird energy in the Western medical structure, and sometimes dealing with white people, especially when you have something dealing with neurodivergence or whatever is considered in the medical field some kind of disability or handicap, or however you would classify it. So I just felt that
Any
that
type of
vibe was
difference.
off. Any type of difference. And I just felt that vibe was off. And especially, I don't think they were used to a real strong, intelligent black man coming through there. Also from the urban hip hop type of preface, if that makes any sense. So I just had to say that, because it's a lot of black families are starting to check this out and look into this. And I know y'all know where I'm coming from, especially us fathers. And for the mothers, I know a lot of things are pressured and put in front of you, and kind of like you're pushed into having to agree to certain things that may not be agreeable, if that makes sense. So on that note, before I get a little to Malcolm X, right quick, you know what I mean? We're going to just wrap this episode up. And I'll let you know that's the end of episode 13. So remember, one life, one love, one God, always be royalty. Signing off from College University of Autism, Big Boxx.
Lil Boxx.
Catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Boxx-A-Million.
Boxx-A-Million. Boxx-A-Million.
Mighty Lion of Judah.